everyone, my name is Ina and I work for the Center for Children and Families at UT Dallas. I'm also a student studying communication disorders. Today, I'd like to share with you a few simple and easy strategies to try out at home while you're playing with your child to promote language development. First, I'd like to talk briefly about the importance of play. So play is a natural context for communication and learning. During play, your child is learning problem-solving skills, self-regulation skills, and again, language. The 5 strategies to promote your child's language development during play that I'd like to cover with you today are self-talk, expansion, comments versus questions, creating play routines, and following your child's lead. First is self-talk. And really what self-talk means is just describing what you, the adult, are doing while playing or interacting with your child. It's really just narrating your actions to expose your child to language. So just describing what you're doing, what you're seeing, eating, or touching. We don't want to do all the talking, but it's a good way to expose your child to language. So while we're doing this, we don't want to require or force our child to imitate what we're saying. We just want to give them the words for that situation. So for example, if you're playing outside on the trampoline or like the slide, you can say, I'm jumping, jump, 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 or I'm sliding, slide, slide, just to give your child words for different situations. If you're playing with Play-Doh, you can say pull or smash. If you're playing with a car, you can say roll or vroom vroom. Just giving your child simple words for toys or activities they like to do. Next is expansion. Expansion means just adding words to your child's message in order to have a more clear and complete phrase that's grammatically correct in order to clarify their intentions. It's just adding on to what they're saying. So if your child says, boy jump, you can say, the boy is jumping. Or if your child says doggy, you can say, it's a black doggy. Or if they're pointing and saying milk, milk, you can say, oh, you want milk. It's just a way to give them more words for what they want or what they see. Again, you don't have to try to have them imitate, it's just giving them more words for the next time that you're in that situation. Comments versus questions. Questions can really make a conversation more adult-led, and we want to focus on the child leading the conversation or the interaction. So let's think. For every one question, we'd like to give them 5 comments. That means we're avoiding questions and focusing on comments. So we would like to avoid asking too many questions or questions that we know that they know the answer to, or even questions we know the answer to. We want to avoid questions that seek object labels, and we want to focus on giving comments and allowing our child time to think and formulate language and responses. So it takes our child a bit more time to respond and think about what they want to say versus the time it would require us to respond. So instead of asking questions like, what's that? We can just say, oh look, it's a dog, or oh look, it's a car, just labeling instead of asking. Or for example, that's a car, that's a yellow car, we can just say, no, sorry. Instead of saying, that's a yellow car, isn't it? We can just say, that's a yellow car. Or that's a pink purse. Things like that. So focusing on the comment and the content instead of the questions. Next is creating play routines. So this isn't necessarily like daily routines, it's more of creating routines out of play so that your child knows what to expect in certain situations of play. So peekaboo is a really good routine. Tickling, so tickling them a few times and then waiting and seeing if they'll request more. Playing chase is a play routine in which they can use a lot of language like you're it or tag or come get me. Then we can play hide and seek and take turns of who's the counter and the hider, and they can use their language to ask questions or describe where, like, oh, you're under the chair, you're under the table, you're on top of the bed, things like that. Or when playing with cars or even chasing, you can say ready, set, give them time and say go, and then later on they can fill out the phrase of go. Or when you're playing with bubbles, which is always a favorite, you can say 1, 2, 3, wait, and then say blow. And then once your child is in that routine, then they'll be able to say blow. Or even when you're reading their favorite book, that often books that rhyme, children like to finish the phrase of that last sentence or the phrases in the book, just depending on what they like. So here with routines, it helps them with simple language, even creativity and problem solving. In routines, you can teach them about other daily routines. So if you're playing with the kitchen and you have a routine about like wash, 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 dry, or things like that, it allows them to learn about other routines during the day, such as like using the kitchen or the bathroom. And again, here we want to focus on child life routines. We want to do what they like to play with so that it can motivate them to use language. Lastly, let's think about following your child's lead. We want to follow their interests so that we can motivate them to use their words. We want to get down to the child's level. We want to be eye to eye. That really engages them and it puts them in the moment with us. Providing them with words for their favorite play routines, like I said previously, that's a motivating factor. So if they really like the toy or the activity, it's more likely that they'll use words. And we want to avoid testing your child during play. So like with the questions versus comments, if you're questioning all the time, it feels like a test. But if we're commenting and following their lead, it's more child-led and it's more motivating for them. And that's all I have for you today. So if you want to learn more about child development, check us out at the Center for Children and Families, ccf.utdallas.edu. If you have any questions, you can email us or check out our Facebook. Thank you for your time.